Yoshimura, a corporate worker enslaved by his job, experiences an unforeseen stroke of misfortune. By sheer chance, he finds himself occupying the coveted top spot in the world rankings. Yearning for a more life of relaxation, he makes the decision to retire from his mundane existence and immerse himself in dungeon exploration. This is the reverse isekai series, The Genesis, 3 years since the dungeon appeared. 3 years have passed since the appearance of dungeons, in a society where conquering these dungeons have become commonplace. When you kill your first monster, you get a dungeon card or D card, and after some more time you may be lucky to get the potion, or even better, a skill orb that can grant you amazing magical powers. Yoshimura is your typical corporate drone who works hard for little gain. He dreams of getting magic and being able to become independent from his daily grind. On his way home from work one day, in a rainstorm, he is forced off the road after he hits something and just barely avoids a fateful encounter with Truck-kun. He realizes that what he had hit was a monster, a goblin, and that instantly granted him his D card. With no skills and basically ranked at the bottom of the heap, he has a lot of work to do to get to what he wants. But Truck-kun has other ideas. The truck that he had just nudged was close to the rift that opened. With the weather and the momentum, its load plummeted down into darkness. The load hits stuff. A lot of stuff, it seems. And the kills are registered to him. A skill orb of making appears, and after activating it, now he has a super rare skill and is vaulted into the top of the rankings. So now he must decide about still working, but his cute co-worker convinces him to leave and go to the dungeons. So now he begins his life as an adventurer, and after finally discovering how his new skill works, he can become filthy rich too. With that in mind and other OP opportunities from his making skill, he sets out to become not only the top ranked dungeon crawler, but the richest man in the world with what seems very little work. The Genesis, 3 years since the dungeon appeared, sets us on a reverse isekai setting where the dungeons come to our world and offer up vast wealth and vast dangers. At first it seems that our MC not only lucks out in getting a bunch of free kills and a non-OP skill, but this being manga, we find out that OP is not what the skill is, but how it's used. The series takes on a different spin on the old try to live the slow life, and they spend more time in the story out of the dungeons than in them, so it's more of a political / economical series than a pure dungeon diver one. The Genesis, 3 years since the dungeon appeared, or The Genesis Donjonkai Dikai 3ne, started in August of 2020 and is based on the same light novel series that started 6 months before that. At the present time, there are 5 volumes in the manga and 7 volumes in the light novel in Japanese. At the present time too, they are just starting to translate the 5th volume in English, so hopefully it'll be totally caught up soon. A series would make a good anime series as it mixes fantasy and intrigue into one series in our modern world. The Genesis, 3 years since the dungeon appeared, drops us into a world where strange fantasy exists and where even an average Joe can luck out and become richer than anyone would believe, with what seems little effort. Another series about dungeons that is about to release into an anime series is Delicious in Dungeons, and you can find more about this series here. That's all for another Listen on Manga series. Hit the like button and go look at a bunch more of the sometimes weird manga series that I've covered. Thanks again. Bye.